this next story saying, man, Faith Evans, man, they're saying isn't supporting Lifetime's upcoming documentary on Biggie and herself now. Even though she's in it, she's speaking in it. Faith Evans said during the interview with Page 6, I feel upset. I'm attached to it. I was told it wouldn't be a positive piece. I was told that it would be a positive piece with a little bit more of my personal background. It wasn't pitched to me as a story rehashing the sensationalized events that took place. I am beyond that, and I have no need to open old wounds, damage repaired relationships, and above all, soil the legacy of Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. the Notorious B.I.G. Now, this is due to air. It's called Hopelessly in Love on Lifetime on Friday at 9 p.m. Like I said, Charlie Baltimore, Little C's, and a lot of other people that were around Biggie Smalls at the time are speaking about their love affair that they had, saying, man, but she's now coming out saying, like, look, I didn't like the way that they did this. How do you feel about this, Sam, man? What are your thoughts?
Got a ton of respect for Faith Evans. Always loved her music. Obviously, we were around when she was with Biggie, and when Biggie passed away. Remember, I Miss You with her and Diddy in 112. Yeah. But I ain't buying this, man. Whoa. I'm not buying this, oh God, even though she probably has some truth to what she said. She doesn't want to tarnish the legacy of B.I.G. She doesn't want to rehash old wounds. Okay, I may believe that. But in all fairness and in truth, you did it. You sat back and answered every question that they asked you. You knew what platform you were on, a platform that's notorious for the drama. You got R. Kelly's drama. You got Aaliyah's drama. You got the Sunday drama that they cut. It's this drama. It's a drama channel. So they weren't going to shine a light on anything positive. They were going to ride drama because that's their demographic. And obviously, the drama with you is the love affair between B.I.G., Lil' Kim, Charlie Baltimore, and the whole situation. Got the man's business out here. Ain't even here no more. So with all due respect, I got to say, I'm not buying that. I think that that's a little bit, I mean, maybe once she's seen the end result, she's seen what it was going to do, but she was 100% involved. I mean, how can you
think it's promotion just for more so for this documentary coming out to get a little controversy with it? So now people, oh, Faith, she's denouncing this. Let me go see it. Definitely now.
We thought that. And I mean, we talked about that in the pre-production. Maybe.
Right.
I'm thinking maybe even after seeing the final product, maybe her witnessing it for herself and seeing the narrative that was spun, she may just, her conscience got in the way and feel bad now and kind of wants to get ahead of it before it gets out of hand. But you did it.
Well, she said something like tarnishing the legacy. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? That part, you know what I mean? Or soil, I should say, the legacy of, the Christopher Wallace. So what is in it that could possibly soil the legacy?
I'm saying
that's that's some strong words there.
Possibly the infidelity. We know. I mean, we know today and age how that's going to be villainized, and you see Kevin Hart still being villainized for what he did a year ago, whatever, what was caught. So that's going to be highlighted. Like I said, he was, and we were young, but we know Charlie Baltimore. It was Lil' Kim. It was Faith Evans.
Yeah, you're right.
Biggie was that dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's probably going to be spun in a negative light and probably throw a little tarnish in his name. When you think of Biggie, you think of the greatest of all time. You don't think of that Biggie on the other side that we don't know if he dealt with some domestic violence issues, and it's about to go there.
But she has to fall back a little bit because regardless of, it soiling a legacy or you thinking that it's not representing in the right way, if they're talking about factual events that happen, people got to see that. Like if somebody's going to, do something in your life, you want them to put what happened really in your life. This is what made Biggie who he was. The things, Charlie Baltimore, Lil' Kim, and the women that he had. This what made Biggie.
Let me ask you this, because you say that, and obviously it's a historical piece when you think about Biggie and the icon that he is in hip hop. One, will you watch a documentary done on this issue by Lifetime? And two, would you watch, or one, I should say, would you watch it in general? And if not, is it because of Lifetime? Would you watch that somebody else would do it? Somebody else produced it? Would you want it done a little more tasteful than Lifetime's probably about to do it?
I can't really speak to that too much. To be honest, I've seen a lot of the Biggie stuff now. Probably since we're actually doing the story and talking about it, I definitely want to check it out. But I would give it a look and see how it went down with Lifetime. I mean, Lifetime, they've been criticized for a lot of stuff, but they put together some, I think, great bodies of work as well, even though it may be, some things may not be necessarily true with some people, but, ultimately they got a good team over there, and I would check it out. If they did it, you're going to get it done a certain way. as opposed to some guy in the street, doing it. And I might watch that as well. But Lifetime, I think, is gonna obviously they went there for a reason. She went sitting down with him for a reason, to do the doc on that. So I think it's marketing and promotion at this point, Sam, man. I really do. You can't sit down with somebody and give them everything, and then at the end of the day say, "Oh, I ain't think you was going to be like this." You went through everything was going to happen, I'm sure. So it's just like, I'm not buying. I think it's a little bit of marketing and promotion for it to get people to actually sit down and watch this. Also, I was thinking about maybe a reason that could be a barrier is her current relationship, with Stevie J. Mm-hmm. Maybe, who knows? You know how it gets when you get with somebody new.
It gets messy.
Right, it gets messy.
Even though he was Biggie's best friend, but
yeah, I mean, damn, yeah. But even with the whole Pac thing, I'm not sure if they're getting into that in there, but she was accused of some infidelity with Pac. Yeah. It goes deep, man. But it's history, though. It's history.
I don't know if I would watch it. You know what? I'm gonna definitely say this. Every time I hear anything from Lifetime, I get a terrible memory of after football season, us getting stuck in this house, watching Lifetime with the women and just going, "Damn, this some good stories on there, though." It was interesting, but at the end of the day, the man was the villain, and it was like, man, we the only two boys in the house, and we get looked at like we crazy. Like, come on, man. But needless to say, I guess you call it promotion. I think it's a little bit of a guilty conscience. We'll see what happens.
Damn. Woo, that's some strong words there.
I think it is, though.
Yeah,
I think she feels guilty.
Yeah, possibly.
I think after seeing the body of work, I think she feels a little guilty about maybe going in the way she went in, because if she's saying it was done distasteful, but you answered the questions, I mean, you got to take some accountability in it.
Or it could have been a thing where she did her portion and then seen the final portion of it, or what they had, or the final piece of it, and said, "Wow, I didn't think it would look like this." Right. Now, I mean, maybe it's too well put together. Like, dang, this is going to cause a lot of people to, react in certain ways she may be thinking. But it's out. She did the interview with the publication there, and now people are going to watch it now and see exactly what went down with that. Definitely.
When is it set to release?
Friday at 9 p.m. on Lifetime. I don't know if they have apps now, or if you got cable, you can see it, I guess. But
you got ways to see it. Like,
yeah. Nowadays. Are you going to check it out, you think, or probably not?
When is it? Friday? No, I'm not. 9
p.m.
I'm gonna forget about this shit the second we get off.
I know, right?
And I won't remember until they put out another headline, and we got to talk about it. To be perfectly honest with you, Friday at 9, we'll be finishing up the podcast, and that's what I'll be thinking about.
Right,
listening on the bigger and better things, man. It's a great thing. But how was your weekend? Oh God, how was your Saturday? Man. And more importantly, how was your Sunday?
It was actually great, man. The last 4 weeks have been awesome.
Yeah,
my team 4-0. Despite
shit teams.
Missing all damn near half of, we had more injuries this year, the Philadelphia Eagles, than any other team. Sean Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks. I mean, we can go down the list of guys who were just injured. Then yesterday, happened. And Carson Wentz gets taken out of the game by a dirty hit by Jadeveon Clowney. And you kind of just felt there, even though I had some faith in my man, he fought, and I was like, man, it's opportunity for us to win it. We just couldn't get points scored into the in the red zone. But I'm still inspired. I'm inspired because it's like, if you could do that, you could pretty much win a division. Like, I mean, it is what it is. We won a division with practice squad players. The future looks great when we start getting guys back like Deshaun Jackson. Draft people. But he was 1 week away from coming back this week. You know what I mean? And people laugh, but I mean, that dude's still the probably the best deep threat ever to touch the NFL. You know what I mean? He definitely scores the Redskins the first week. And
he definitely did.
Yeah, that's so the division's still ours, just to the people out there who's happy. And if it wasn't for Carson Wentz going out, it would have been a close game, but we would have probably won that game. And the reason I say that is we got to the red zone 4 times, didn't score. Carson Wentz is probably the best, at least over the last 5 or 6 weeks, best quarterback in the red zone. So tough break, man. It happens in football, though. Sometimes, you be going and somebody goes out. You got to have depth. But I'm proud, man, of the way they fought, because really it was 5-7. They probably shouldn't even made it there. So, shout out to the Eagles. The future looks bright.
I picked Seattle to win the game, albeit with a healthy Carson Wentz in the game. He got knocked out by an intentional hit. No, I wouldn't say it was intentional, but dirty. Yeah,
definitely dirty.
It was definitely dirty. He was definitely irresponsible. He was on his way down to the ground. Could have easily just marked him down any other way, but you went in there very aggressive and you did your thing. It is what it is. And I don't care. I don't care about your injuries. I can't wait to be in a new set because as you were going through the list of injuries, I could play some sad fucking music in the background and we can all shed a tear for the sorrows that all NFL teams go through. And salute for being in a dog shit division and going ahead and being the victor of a dog shit division. I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not mad at you. I like Carson Wentz. I think that he is a superstar quarterback. I think you got a bright future in Carson Wentz. I think that the division is going to be far more competitive than it was this year, the next upcoming years as they get the trash out of these teams. And it looks like my team is starting to make some decisions that are smart and things like that. Hopefully we make some noise. I love what Dallas is doing because they look like the same old Dallas Cowboys. And it remains to be seen what goes on with the Giants. I think it's going to be a very competitive division. It always is, but I think the difference is we'll have some of the cream of the crop coming out of the division going into the playoffs. What do you think about Carson Wentz getting hurt, all being a dirty hit? Oh, God, this is now the third straight year that he's left games and not returned due to injury. Is it something to that, or was that a freak incident yesterday?
It's just a freak incident, man. He got through the whole season this year. And,
Almost.
and then it's like the mobile, he's running, he's moving a lot. He's putting his body on the line, so you're prone for more injuries, man. It's just like even that one in St. Louis when they were the Rams, like he was diving for the goal line and like, damn, how you tear your ACL like that? Like that's crazy. So it's the NFL, man, and I always say like the sport is way too dangerous because you could pretty much count on it. Like every year, you're going to get decimated with injuries. Every team, especially the older your team is, guys going to keep going out. But it's one of those things where it's like that's what the naysayers will say. They'll say, "Oh yeah, this is third year." In a row, but in those 3 years, we won a Super Bowl, been to the playoffs 3 times. So, you got to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's still, a bright future. I hate to say, we didn't have, but name a team. You lost all 3 of your starting wideouts. Half of your offensive line, who are both Pro Bowlers, Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks. Your defense wasn't all that to begin with. We got some slow corners and secondary. We got to upgrade in a couple areas. And, even our defensive line. So it's hard. Like no team in the NFL would have been able to overcome that. They start like even Russell Wilson, if he would have went out, they ain't overcoming that. You know what I mean? It just ain't.
Do you give criticism to your training staff? We just fired our trainer of 18 years because year after year after year, we have 20, 25 players on IR by the end of the season. And that had to do with conditioning. That had to do with proper training. Do you see, because I wouldn't say it was a trend. Y'all had a year like no other. And you see a couple teams every year have injuries where you're just like, damn, they can get no break. Y'all with this year. Do you criticism to your training staff, or is this a fluke kind of year? Because, even though it wasn't as harsh, the last couple of years, you guys have had a little bit rash of injuries and things like that. Do you place any blame on the training staff?
No. My thing, I was a little bit disappointed about the Deshaun Jackson thing because he really got the surgery early. He would have been back for this run that we had, but he didn't. I don't think he wanted to get the surgery. Like they can't force you when I hear to get surgery, so he wanted to wait and see if he could tough it out. Jadeveon Clowney's playing with a sports hernia, the same injury that he has. So it just depends on your position whether or not you could play, with that type of injury or your pain threshold and whatnot. But no, I wouldn't say that, man. But I just think moving forward, you got to try to get younger and build more depth. And you look at it, we have pretty much great depth if you really look at it. You know what I mean? Because, being down top 3 wideouts, our offensive line, we had to pick Big V in for Lane Johnson. And then for Brandon Brooks, they put Pryor in. Nobody knows who these dudes are, but they still had their own yesterday, for the most part. And, should have moved on. We should have been going to Green Bay next week. Definitely disappointed about that, man, because should have moved on. Like even that pass to Miles Sanders, like even with that being said, we should have won that game or at least been going to overtime. He should have caught that pass. It was a little bit behind him. That was a touchdown.
Like you said, move on. We're all moving on now.
But with that being said, though, moving forward, I'm going to give my picks.
Yeah.
I don't see Seattle winning.
Neither do I.
Yeah, shout out to Russell Wilson, man. Shout out to Russell Wilson because we almost had that dude. He's got the fucking ball. I'm like, this motherfucking bitch. And then he was slide. Man. Yeah, he made enough plays. Like, and if they had like any other quarterback, they probably wouldn't have won that game. But Russell Wilson, and then he asked about Wentz.
Carson at the game.
So he's a stand-up dude. You know what I mean? Even though I hated him yesterday, I was like, fuck him up, man. Like, But yeah, man. But going forward, Green Bay, I see them or San Francisco. Even though Minnesota is surprising a lot of people. They took New Orleans out.
I'm good. I'm glad.
Right. And they may win. They may beat San Francisco. Minnesota might be the team, but I'm going to go with Green Bay and Kansas City now.
In the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You know what? That wouldn't be a bad Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind seeing KC in Green Bay, but that means you got KC beating Baltimore in the AFC Championship game. Do you see Baltimore advancing?
I see Andy getting it done against his understudy, man.
That's going to be a great
Andy
game.
Getting it done this year.
I definitely see those two advancing. I see KC and Baltimore taking care of their business in a very entertaining AFC divisional round and playoffs in the AFC that you didn't get to see real often. I mean, a very